The ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has removed all members facing court cases from its candidates list for the municipal elections. Speaking on the sidelines of the eMalahleni regional conference at Newcastle, party spokesperson Nhlakanipho Ntombela says members facing court charges are, however, allowed to contest for positions during conferences. Now, our reporter Thulani Msimang is with the ANC KZN spokesperson Nhlakanipho Ntombela. We cross now live to him. Thulani, thanks so much for joining us. Of course, this comes as the party's NEC is meeting this weekend following the Concourt's judgment yesterday. Talk to me about the latest development in KZN.
Yes, good afternoon. We are here at the Newcastle Sports Showground where the ANC eMalahleni region is holding its regional conference where it's expected to elect its new leaders. The new leaders will hopefully take this party forward into the local government elections. The venue here at Newcastle Showgrounds is where the conference is taking place. Behind me are the tents where the virtual conference is taking place. I'm counting there are about 9 tents, including the big marquee where the conference is taking place. The virtual conference had delays this morning taking place as members and officials were trying to connect the delegates to these virtual tents that you are seeing, where members are congregating in these marquees, about 9 of them, where members are sitting inside following proceedings where they later on elect new leadership. We hear names that later on names like current ANC regional chairperson like Dr. Nhlakanipho, the current mayor of Newcastle, will be running against another candidate called Senzo Khumalo, who is the ANC youth chairperson and the local organizers. But the ANC has not confirmed all the names that will be on the candidate list that will be confirming. But to take us through what is happening here today is ANC spokesperson Nhlakanipho Ntombela, who will be taking us through to what is happening. Thank you very much for your time, Nhlakanipho. Can you just tell us what is happening here at the conference today and what is expected to happen later on?
Is the 6th regional conference of eMalahleni region. We've got more than 300 plus delegates congregated, as you can see, in virtual platforms in almost 9 marquees, ensuring that social distances are adhered to and everyone is wearing social mask and sanitizing and all of that. What is going to happen now after this? We have had the inputs from the aligned structures and the inputs from the province. Then there will be an organizational report which will be followed by the nomination by the elections agency. Then we'll go to commissions. Hopefully by the end of the day, later today, they will vote if they come to that stage for the newly elected regional leadership. Tomorrow morning we'll be announcing the newly elected structure for the region.
And another issue that is current, Mr. Ntombela, is the issue that is running where the ANC has taken the decision to remove the names of those candidates who are implicated or who are facing charges in civil courts and criminal cases. Can you just take us through what's going to happen? They are removed from the IEC list. What's happening in the ANC?
Members who are facing criminal charges have been instructed to step aside. They've stepped aside on their organizational responsibilities, but also if they are deployed in government. If you are a mayor, if you are an MEC, you are a minister, you step aside from those responsibilities. But on organizational responsibilities, your individual membership of the organization is retained because we are not suspended nor expelled. So as an individual member of an organization, you've got every right to participate in organizational processes. If such individuals are nominated in the conference, they will be eligible to stand, depending of course on the vote of the delegate, whether they are elected into those positions or otherwise. But immediately once the process of election is finalized and concluded, if their court matters are still not finalized, they will not be eligible to take up those positions if they are elected to those positions up until their matters are finalized by court.
One other thing, Mr. Ntombela, that people are interested in is that IEC has made its decision that there's not going to be any further registration of candidates. How has this decision of the IEC affected your organization? I hear that the municipalities in Zululand, Ilam, that will not be able to run for this election. Can you just take us through what is the extent of this decision?
Well, in KZN, there are areas where will be affected. In Zululand will be affected. In Ilembe will be affected. In some other parts of the province where will be affected in the main. We are awaiting the NEC guidance on the matter as it's sitting in Johannesburg, but also the IEC guidance. The Constitutional Court has given the IEC the instruction on the process of must open the registration process because the voter registration process was not done. So we are awaiting to see what will be the IEC approach on the matter. Remember, ANC had put papers in courts, in the electoral courts, which were withdrawn, hoping to wait for the Constitutional Court outcome. So hopefully the NEC, as it is meeting today, will deliberate on that matter and give guidance. Hopefully we'll be given a space. We hope and pray for that. If it does not happen, you hope and pray that the IEC, the electoral court matter is taken up by the NEC. If not, well, it's a situation we have to face as an organization, that in those municipalities will not be able to stand for elections and campaign where we are, because the majority of the municipalities in the province, the ANC candidates are there and they've been submitted in time.
Mr. Ntombela, these are big municipalities that you won't be able to contest in those areas. How does the ANC hope to come back from this damage that has happened, that you're not able to contest in these big areas? We're talking about, we've contested about 3 districts that in some areas you won't be able to contest from. How are you hoping to come back from this?
Indeed, it is a serious indictment on us as an organization. Hence, we are saying that there are things right now which are beyond our control as an organization. Right now we'll await the IEC guidance, and of course we'll await the NEC decision whether they appeal the matter again on the electoral courts. If it does not happen that way, it creates a challenge for the ANC, because it means you must start afresh. It means for the next 5 years in those municipalities, in those areas, the voice of the ANC won't be heard. It means the governance of the ANC in those municipalities won't be there. We might lose about 2 or 3 mayors. We've got a mayor in Etumbe, we've got a mayor in Opongolo. If we can't contest, it means that in all probabilities, those mayors of the ANC and the program that initiated of speeding up service delivery to those communities will be affected. So we'll be affected negatively as an organization. That's why we're trying every avenue possible to ensure that by all means possible that we are allowed a space to correct the anomaly which has transpired.
And lastly, Mr. Ntombela, we hear names in this conference that are being bandied around. The name of Dr. Ntuthuko Mahlaba, the name of the ANC youth organizer is also being bandied around, and the regional secretary. Do you have confidence in any of those leaders that would be putting their names forward?
Well, at this stage, we still do not know who has been nominated. The elections agents will come after lunch to give us the list of those who have been nominated by the branches processes. But we believe that the individuals elected in those positions will be responsible enough to take forward the organizational program, because they will be understanding the task at hand. This is one municipality where ANC has won overwhelmingly on, but also where there are challenges. You remember eMalahleni, you are a majority there, but you've got a speaker now who's from the opposition. It tells you there is an internal problems also which we must address as an organization. But if you observe the turnaround of the municipality of Newcastle, Majuba districts, we believe that the current leadership has done enough in turning around the corner and the image of the ANC. Hopefully the delegates will decide on their own whom they think among them will be best suited to lead them for the next 3 years.
And very quickly, Mr. Ntombela, this area, eMalahleni, how has it been affected as well by this IC listing? I hear it has not been affected that much as other areas.
No, there are no problem in these districts. We've managed to register our candidates in all of the wards, in all of the municipalities, including the proportional representation candidates. It's one area where we can say certainly 100% ANC representation is guaranteed.
Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Ntombela. Well, that is what is happening here at the Newcastle Sports Showgrounds, where the ANC eMalahleni Regional Conference is taking place. We'll be here to bring you events as they happen. For now, but it's back to you in the studio in Johannesburg, Unathi.